Your self-doubt is a lie. In the 2021 Olympic Games, one athlete walked into Tokyo not just carrying her nation's hope, but the weight of the world's expectation. People didn't just expect her to win, they expected magic. But just 4 days into the games, Simone Biles, the most decorated gymnast of all time, pulled out of the competition. The world was stunned. How could a champion at the peak of her career just stop? But what many didn't realize was this: it wasn't her body that gave out, it was something far harder to see and even harder to fight. The quiet voice inside her head, your head and mine, the one that whispers you are not enough, the one that says you're going to fail, and the one that is always saying you don't deserve this. There's a voice in our head, in your head. It doesn't just whisper, it argues you are not ready, you are not smart enough, and you are going to mess things up. In this video, I'm going to show you the real reason why we doubt ourselves and how to shut that voice down before it ruins your potential. I feel it, you feel it, and we feel it. I once turned down a leadership opportunity I desperately wanted because deep down, I didn't just think I was good enough. Not because anyone told me, but just because I convinced myself. So most people think self-doubt is a sign they are not ready. But psychology shows us something radically different. Self-doubt is often learned from the moment in childhood where we were criticized instead of encouraged, from the environment that celebrates perfection and not progress, from the competing, the scrolling social media and feeling like anyone else is doing better than you. It compounds, and from there it leads to self-doubt. It's not a proof you are inadequate, it's a proof your brain is trying to avoid pain. The problem is, self-doubt is a liar, but a persuasive one. It convinces you not to speak up even when you have something special to say. It stops you from even applying, from starting, from taking risks. Because what if I fail? I've seen people with so much talent shrink their lives to fit the limits of their doubt. They settle for jobs they hate. They keep ideas in notebooks that never see daylight. But not because they are lazy, but because that voice, the one that sounds like I am not ready, won't just shut up. And so how do you quiet that voice? These are 3 ways that I've used to quiet the self-doubt anytime it comes up in my life. And so you can start today to do the same to win in every area you've had self-doubt. Number 1 is the confidence competence loop. You've probably heard people say just be confident, but confidence isn't something you start with, it's something you build. Let me explain. There's a powerful idea in psychology called confidence competence loop. And once you understand this, self-doubt will never feel intimidating again. Here's how it works. You don't wait to feel confident before you take action. Instead, you start small with something you can do today, with something you can do now. Even if you are nervous or uncertain, then something miraculous happens. But sure, you complete that small action, you prove to yourself that I can do this. Is an evidence, is a proof you can do something. And that small little win begins to compound. That win builds competence, the skill, understanding, and a sense of progress. And you know what? That competence gives birth to confidence. And the more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better you get. And the better you get, the more confident you become. It is a loop. Action creates competence, and competence fuels confidence. Confidence is not the starting line. It is a result of repetition. And number 2 is I practice self-compassion. Let me be honest, most of us are brutal with ourselves. We say things to ourselves that we will never say to a friend. I am not good enough. I've always messed things up. Why can't I just get this right? But let me ask you something. Has beating yourself up ever made you feel better? Has it ever made you more confident? The answer is always no. Shame never creates strength, it only creates silence. But self-compassion is a different way. Now I know you might be thinking, this is soft, this is weak. But hear me out. The real self-compassion is not self-pity, it's not making excuses, it's not letting yourself off the hook. It is talking to yourself like someone worth fighting for, especially when you mess up. Dr. Kristin Neff, one of the leading researchers on self-compassion, has found that people who practice self-compassion are not less motivated. In fact, they are actually more motivated, because when you fail and you respond with kindness instead of cruelty, you are more likely to come again, to try again, to repeat again. Think about a child learning to walk. When they fall, they cry, get up and try again. Imagine if their parent yelled, "You are useless, you will never walk." That child might give up, but with gentle encouragement, the child keeps trying and eventually they walk. Adults are not any different. Confidence doesn't grow in an environment of self-abuse. It grows in a space where you are allowed to be imperfect and still worthy of effort, respect, and growth. So next time you mess up, maybe you said the wrong things, failed in an exam, or didn't get your dream job, pause. Don't launch into an attack. Instead, ask yourself a different question. If my best friend was in this situation, what would I say to them? And then say that to yourself. That shift alone from self-judgment to self-kindness is enough to keep you in the game, and staying in the game is how confidence is built. And number 3 is the realistic thinking. This is where logic meets emotion. We've all heard just be positive, but sometimes a forced positivity feels fake, especially when self-doubt is loud. That's where realistic thinking comes in. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It doesn't say you are not making mistakes, or it doesn't guarantee that all things will work out well. It's about looking at your fear and asking logical questions about your reality. You're about to speak in public and your mind says, "I will mess this up. Everyone will judge me." Is that really true? Realistic thinking scans the environment for logical evidence. It counters emotion and puts you in control. And that small shift calms the storm. You are not just hyping yourself up, you are grounding yourself in the truth. And so realistic thinking gives you the clarity to act even when confidence is missing. Self-doubt will always be there. Even the most successful people still fear or hear the voice. But the difference is they don't listen. You can have doubt and still do the thing anyway. And the more you do, the quieter the voice becomes, until one day it stops trying. If you found this video helpful, like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Take care, and I will see you as always in the next video.